Thank you. I was overwhelmed before, now I'm really overwhelmed. That's great. Lori, Marissa, Jamie, the ones who have been living this. We got a little ways to go, but we got hope. So, y'all ready for the pitches? I know it's been a long day, but this is going to be a lot of fun. So I'm going to turn it over to Zach, who's going to introduce our judges, who's going to turn it over to Joelle, who's going to get this thing cranking. So let's begin.
First off, I want to commend Tim. He has a wonderful looking jacket. I think it's beautiful. It's just like a darker version of what I have. And while I'm up here, and you guys have been listening to stories, I want to tell you about the Opportunity Machine and what. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. We'll get y'all rolling here. I know. As it gets later in the afternoon, right? You start going like, my nerves are turning into anxiety. My anxiety turns into frustration, and eventually you come up here and you just, kick my tail in front of everybody. So I'll get out of your way. My jokes are not working the way I want them to, so I'm going to let this thing roll. So I'm going to introduce our judges real quick, and then I'll get out of the way, and we'll get to the good stuff here. Just raise your hand for us, if you would, guys. Mr. Cian Robinson. Cian and I are, he's a legend in his own mind. So Cian is the executive director of the Lafayette General Innovation Fund. And so when outside people go, there's no money in town, I go, this guy's got a checkbook for $2.5 million. You just got to know how to get into it. So there are investors here. He's a very accomplished entrepreneur, has done many deals, and for me personally, very good friend, very good mentor. This guy is qualified. So next one is Mr. Scott Rogers. You can also clap for him. He is one of the co-founder. I don't know who's the boss. I know who the boss is.
Your wife.
Yeah, so Missy's in charge. Yeah. But Scott is one of the co-founders of Noble Plastics, and so we have our financier, deal maker. We have our highly skilled technician as well. So as we talk about the entrepreneurial triangle, I can't commend you enough. I mean, again, personal friend. This guy's been hustling for entrepreneurs in this town for a long time before it was cool. So if you guys need a good contact, I also know he's a very good person. I know his family is very giving to the community. But if you want to know somebody, this little power couple right here, they're good people to know. And I'll attest to that, because when Tim talked about be the next thing, I have to tell you what I think Lafayette is. Lafayette is the most welcoming city in the entire world. I moved here 5 years ago. I didn't know a soul. And now I feel like I've lived here for 50. So I think that's what we need to be, is open and welcoming. These guys are exactly that. So thank you again. And last but not least, the man with the best socks and the best glasses, Mr. Doug Menifee. Doug, So Doug is our veteran techster. He's had some major startup successes with IT companies. Former CIO of Schumacher. I don't know if you want me to say that or not, but was most recently one of the lead trainers and directors for Amazon Web Services. And for me personally, he sits on my board of directors, so he's my boss in a sense, but he likes me and we go eat pancakes together. All three of these guys are exceptional. So for those of you that are pitching, if you're worried about it being too technical, don't worry. If you're worried about it being too financial, don't worry. If you're worried about it being too salesy, don't worry, right? Just get up there, enjoy yourselves. You guys ready to see this?
Yes.
Yeah. One last comment, because I really do want you guys to appreciate this. We did this in Nashville too. This is more important than what you think it is. And it's nice to hear it from someone on the outside, but Tim's going to go back to New Orleans and he's going to go, man, that was really cool, right? I really want you guys to think about what you've done here today, because what's about to happen with these guys is going to take them into a whole different level as well. And if it wasn't for everybody else who was here and all the people who put it together, we'd never get to that point. So kudos to you guys, and really, let's see something awesome. So, all right, Mr. Joel Dawson is going to take it away, get these guys started, and we'll stop talking.
As you can tell, I always want to be a game show host, so here I am. Welcome, everybody. I'm not going to go through a lot of stuff because I know you guys are ready to get started. I know they're ready to get started, so I kind of feel like Les Miles, right before the game's kind of like, hold on, guys. Hold on. You're ready. They're actually ready. But one thing I do want to go over, I went over the rules with them. I'm going to go over that real quick with you guys. Each contestant has 3 minutes to pitch. And then from there, they will go into a Q&A. And one thing that I do ask is whenever they finish with their pitch, we're going to go directly into the Q&A. So if you can hold your applause until after each contestant is done, number one. Number two, I'm going to ask you to silence all of your cell phones, not vibrate, because they can vibrate on tables and things like that. I'm going to ask you to put them on silence, and I'm going to do it too. Just like we're doing kindergarten, we're all do it at the same time. Ready? Now show. Okay. The speaking order has already been determined. You guys ready? Ready on this side?
Yeah. Over here.
Are you guys ready in the middle?
Ready.
You guys ready on this side?
Yes.
Okay, great. We're going to get started. Our first company to pitch is going to be Cleargistics. Cleargistics.
Good afternoon. My name is Stephen Toops. I'm the president and CEO of Cleargistics, and we are the cure for the common paper. Cleargistics was designed for oil field companies that are currently utilizing paper, spreadsheets, and other outdated technologies to capture their revenue in field activities. Cleargistics provides process control to the central office, allows for the efficient digital capture of field and vessel activities, and provides real-time revenue, activity, personnel, and other information. Many oil field companies still rely on paper tickets and logs, and there are numerous problems with paper. Paper is not smart. Paper doesn't know that prices were supposed to go up today. Paper gets lost. It has to be transported. It gets mangled and dirty. It also is very expensive to produce. Paper also needs to be keyed in, basically documenting the same transaction twice. Also, paper does not know that the white copy was changed, and therefore the pink copy, which is currently in payroll, also needs to be changed. Therefore, companies using paper, spreadsheets, and other outdated technologies experience revenue leakage, increased service to cash cycles, and increased costs. A market opportunity exists to implement efficiency tools designed to remove paper from the service to cash cycle. It seems that when times are good, people are too busy to implement efficiency tools. But when times are bad, the excuse is there's no money. Well, right now, current market conditions are requiring companies to be hyper-efficient. And Cleargistics is an efficiency tool with a real ROI. Cleargistics is cloud-based, mobile, and configurable. And through the use of our synchronization engine, allows users to work in either a connected or a disconnected environment, which is often found in the oil field. Our SaaS subscription model encourages broad utilization by only charging one fee for Cleargistics' use in the central office. Beyond the oil field, our long-term plans are to expand into the more broadly defined commercial sector, comprised of hundreds of thousands of painters, landscapers, HVAC technicians, and others with remotely deployed revenue-generating assets. At Cleargistics, we are using our experienced team to penetrate a very specific segment of the market with our flexible and configurable engine. Our clear guarantee will provide market penetration and market acceptance, minimizing the risk for our customers. The next 12 months will be busy ones at Cleargistics as we raise money, commercially deploy our solutions, and enhance our capabilities. Take the cure for the common paper.
Okay, everybody, listen,
and join the digital.
You also have one of these sitting on your chair, and we're going to be voting for a crowd favorite, correct?
Yes.
Okay. After all of the speakers are done, you, my friends, get to vote as well. All we have to do is put a check mark in the box, and you will also have the opportunity to vote.
Forgot about Q&A.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right, I've got several questions. So I noticed it says formerly Necessi.
Yes. What happened? So Necessi was a company that got very focused on the users of the assets, not the owners of the assets. So in the oil field, Necessi was worried about marketing a product to the E&P companies, not the service companies in general that use the assets and own the assets, because that's where the real ROI.
Okay, so
we're a relaunched company.
So you're a relaunched company based on their existing technologies. You've already acquired all those assets that are within the organization. It's free and clear, there's no debt, no residual financing.
We took over the same company, so everything's in the corporate of the company already. Yes, we did.
What's the, am I being red lighted or who's being red lighted here? Okay, she's playing, okay. How much are you looking to raise? I mean, we didn't see an amount up there.
We have 1.4 raised already. We're looking to raise, we'll be looking to raise another 3 mid-summer.
Can you tell us again what that? Well,
sure. We have 1.4 raised right now. We're looking to raise another 3 for mid-summer.
I see this as going on the cloud, and how are you planning to address the potential customers' concerns with data loss or security?
Sure, we have a full redundant backup. We are going to have dual sites that will be fully redundant, and we will undergo the required audits in order, because some of our customers are going to be SEC companies, and therefore we're going to need to have the full data center audits done, and we will have those done.
Are you building it? I don't know if this thing's working or not today. Are you building out off of your own platform, or are you leveraging Amazon, Microsoft?
We're actually using Amazon's web services. We think that will help us scale as we grow.
Thank you.
Our next company, Cover 6.
Bang, bang, bang. When seconds count, the police are always minutes away. Cover 6 is an active shooter training company that was started in December of 2014 and went operational at July of this year. Currently, we are the only active shooter training company in the U.S., and we're the only ones training hospitals. We have DHH's recommendation, and we have our first state contract, and I know that we're the only one that has that contract in the state. We have designed Cover 6 to build awareness of active shooter and to have everybody prepared for this guy. And I want y'all to remember that guy because he was very, very, very popular. Currently, right now, we're training hospitals, private, publicly training companies all over Louisiana. Our staff consists of a medical director, a medical director, and over 150 law enforcement officers that are certified in active shooter training throughout the U.S. So at any given time, we can be anywhere we want. As of today, there have been 325 mass shootings in just the U.S. alone. That's not including what happened in the unfortunate event last night. And these, anybody remember these? Our staff is the most highly trained. When we went out and we decided to build this company, we said we can't just get anybody. We're not selling cars. I can't tell you it's going to get low miles, and it doesn't get low miles to the gallon. We're actually saving lives. So when I tell you what to do, if somebody walks in that room, I have to have the best of the people. And that's exactly who I went out and I guided. We have a 75,000 square foot facility in Church Point that we do on-site training. We train you for situations just like this, and we also go to different locations inside your building, inside your hospital, inside your oil field company, wherever it may be, so that we can show you how to use things and what to do in your own facility. It gives you that real-time, real-world experience. Right now, we are in Louisiana. We're operating at a 50% profit margin. We hope to expand that number is growing daily, and our goal is to franchise all over the U.S. Very, very recently, a very unfortunate event happened with this guy. This day will live forever in Lafayette, inside of Louisiana. July 23rd, 2015, July 23rd, 2015 at 7:39, that picture was captured right there. 4 minutes before he did it. It's no longer a matter of when, it's a matter of if and where. Thank you.
I just want to,
I think it's done.
microphone's dead. I just want to make sure I'm clear. Your training that you're providing are to civilians, it's not to law enforcement agencies. So you'd go into a hospital, train the individuals in that hospital on how to respond to protect themselves.
Correct. In hospitals, oil field companies, and private industries, and schools.
Got it. Thank you.
What kind of liability exposure do you have, and how are you addressing that if you train someone and then they act in a certain way that's inappropriate?
Very, very good question. That's the reason that we hire law enforcement individuals that are trained and certified through the state and through the FBI in active shooter training. It's a suggestive course. There is nothing in the world that says I can save your life. A paramedic, a doctor, nobody can say that. We can show you the best possible way to stay alive.
So you talked about your 50% profit margin and you want to franchise. What's even the revenue model? How do you even earn your money?
Through private facilities and government facilities. We actually have the state contract. There's a lot of big names that I can tell you personally off to the side of who that we have contracts with.
I think you're missing my point. How do you make your money? Do they pay you? You come in and they pay you a flat fee?
Yes.
Are you paid an hourly rate?
They
Is
pay
it
a
an
rate
engagement
per
fee?
person for us to go into their facility. If it's 100 people, it's a minimum of 25 people per class that we will take on. One customer alone has 4,300 employees that we're training right now.
Thank you.
And they have a rate that they pay per person.
Thank you.
Our next company is Backstory. Backstory.
Good.
Backstory is an organization that supports, mentors local filmmakers, and helps create lasting films. Our organization provides a unique mentorship program that takes 12 industry professionals and partners them up with 12 local students and community members that work alongside with other industry professionals to develop their skills throughout a project. So what does that mean? So if you want to be a director, if you want to be a cinematographer, if you want to learn how to edit or do lighting, what we do is offer an opportunity for you to work side by side to develop your career and your skills to go on and work in the film industry. We just wrapped our first year and we created 1 short film and 2 spec commercials. These projects are being wrapped up to be submitted to film festivals and to be sent to ad agencies. 3 of our mentees have gone on to work in the film industry, and currently, and the youngest one that we had was just 19 years old. As we expand into year 2, we're looking to break into new grounds, and that's where our 2 investment opportunities come. We are looking to create new intellectual properties and create a multi-use soundstage facility in this area. For the independent properties, we are looking to invest $200,000 to create 1 documentary, 1 feature film, and 2 short films. We currently have conversations with 2 distributors who are interested in 2 of our projects. Our second opportunity is a multi-use soundstage facility that will not only be the home for Backstory, our workshop, our classes, and an incubator for local artists, but also be a facility that can be rented out to ad agencies, video production companies, and film industry individuals who are looking to shoot in our community. For that investment, we're looking for $500,000 plus 20% ownership. Acadiana is an area with a number of amazing artists. We have Natalie Kingston, Brian Richard, Matt and Rachel Whittle, John Paul Summers, John Melanson. The list goes on and on. The biggest problem in this area is that we just don't have opportunities. We have to go outside of this community to go find projects to work on. We have to create these opportunities, plain and simple. For every artist, every creator who has ever put pen to pad, who has worked countless hours in the middle of the night, wondering why are we doing what we're doing, there's somebody who supports them, and there's somebody who invests in them, and there's somebody who believes in them. For all the supporters, the believers, and the investors, that's their backstory, and we would like you to be ours. Thank you.
First question is scalability. This seems to be a very localized business, right? And so investors looking to see how this thing scales. Can you talk to me about scalability, or is this truly just a local play?
This is not a local play. There's two folds to it. So we're trying to make quality products that will do well at festivals. They do it well at festivals. They bring a spotlight to our area and our artists. Robert Rodriguez did the same thing in the Austin area. Second part of it is to use the facility to not just be a soundstage. We can do events there. We can do, if a local fashion designer wants to do a runway show, we can do that there. We can do multiple things. The problem is if it just stays there as a soundstage, it's just staying there as a soundstage. This can become a home for workshops, summer programs, all sorts of things.
Thank you.
Okay. You answered part of my question already, but my question is this model, is this something that you've come up with yourself, or are you basing this on, are there other successful models of this business in other parts of the country that you can point to?
There are smaller nonprofit organizations that do this on a smaller scale, but they mainly do. The reason what Backstory started from was one of the models that we followed was they deal with a lot of middle school kids to make projects. My issue here is that there are a lot of kids who want to work in the film industry, but you can't drop everything you're doing, go to New Orleans and expect to still be in school after working on a production for 3 months. That's not possible. But here we can do that. We can create quality projects specifically tailored to get into festivals to basically support our artists.
So with the, obviously, Louisiana's had a big influx in film production because of the digital film and digital media incentive programs that have been in place. The state's in debt right now. Probably be a likelihood that that'll be scaled back in the coming years. You're looking for $500,000 of investment on the big side of the equation. What would an investor's return look like? How long would it take to recoup that $500,000, or it was $500,000? How long would it take them to recoup that $500,000 investment?
For the facility, it's 1 hour conversation. For the the intellectual properties, it's a different conversation. But since we're specifically talking about the facilities, you can rent a soundstage for $1,000 a day, and that's on the low end. But one of the big major issues is that there's no soundstage in Lafayette. The closest one we have is Baton Rouge. We have to build some sort of facility, and that's why it's a twofold facility. It's not just one thing. And to answer, I guess your question is, it depends on how many productions are coming here. That's why we want to make our own projects as well, so we can utilize this facility for multiple reasons.
Yeah. Thanks.
While we have a down moment, does anyone need a scorecard? One? Anyone else? I saw a couple people walk in. No? Sir?
Our next company.
Doug, I had to pick one or two questions, and you took my second.
Betakes.
We produce 3D animated videos and then add interactivity solutions to it to develop a next generation training tool for teaching tomorrow's workforce. So how we're doing it is, we are taking the high quality animated videos, and then we are taking the industry's best training content, which is in textbooks, and then converting those into 3D animated videos and add interactivity to it, and then integrate those videos with the interactivity and make it available with the existing curriculum, which is, and then license it to the users on a global basis for a license fee for 1 year of access. So here is the, so basically how we are doing is, we are not just producing the animated videos. What we are doing is, we are using, once these videos will be produced, they will be provided a cloud-based server with 24/7 access, and then we'll be continuously updating the content every single year to whatever a new standard new standard will be coming up, and also we are adding few features that has assessment reports, expert tips, highlighting the key areas that are important for explaining that particular concept, and then a way of adding search engine optimization to help access the content right away when they are. Currently, we are working on, we picked up welding as a trade skill first, and then, coming to the welding training module, there are a few other companies out there who are producing the videos in both the regular video camera shoot videos and also some animated versions. Basically, we are looking at something providing the best expert tips, and then making it available on the cloud and then with 24/7 access to it. So our main focus is towards high school students, community colleges, and companies. And then we are looking at targeting the technical community market first. And then the basic idea is to actually partner with the community curriculum development companies, produce these animations, and use their marketing channels to reach our market. So here we need 3 different partners. One is animation company, which is us, and then our welding curriculum companies and manufacturers. We have an initial agreement with first round of talks with Lincoln Electric company and ATB as well to build a state-of-art training project. So here, with currently, if we go for a full-fledged marketing scale with the help of Lincoln Electric, we could actually reach our goal by 2019. Through ATP, it would be 2016. Through SSCR and Lincoln Electric, it would be by 2019 itself. So here's our development plan. By end of 2017, we'll be having a full-fledged videos. We have a 70,000.
Is your solution output SCORM so that it can be incorporated into learning management systems?
We're using the AWS services to have it working on the cloud services.
I saw you showed Miller and Lincoln Electric up there, and I didn't quite understand what you were going to get from them. Where are you going to get your expertise, and what commitments have you gotten, for that expertise?
So for the expertise on the curriculum development companies, ADP and Lincoln Electric are currently on our first round of talks. So we are having a meeting with them next week, and another meeting in early December. So to have a partnership with them on that. So.
Okay. You don't have a commitment from them yet? You just have an appointment?
No, but we have a first round of talks has been done, so they're interested, and then we're going to the next level of talks on that to have a. We're looking at either they would be as an investor from outside company, or they just have a partner to develop the content together.
I see advisors as Jimmy Sawtell.
Yeah.
He's he's currently a chancellor, and now he's the former director of workforce development for all of LCTCS. Is Jimmy buying it?
Yeah. Right now, Louisiana Community College is right now is helping us develop the content.
So they haven't bought it yet. Jimmy's helping you.
Yeah. Right now we are developing the product. The first set of videos will be coming on December, and then the final product will be coming in December next year. So initially, with these currently developed videos, we are working on to test the product. Well, before we go in local.
Big logo. Our next company, Bayou Backer Erosion Control.
Persistent wave action is destroying the marshland. Wind and boat weight widens channels and allows salt water to change the environment. Traditional methods of protection include rock levees, sheet piling, and other forms of levees and dikes. These processes cost $1 to $10 million per mile. Planting grass by hand is slow but cheap. It's also a lot of work. Inventions such as erosion eel, viper wall, eco shield, and oyster rings cost about $1 million per mile and may have issues. Bayou Backer is machine installed for less than $500,000 per mile. Out in the marsh, in 2 feet of water, 8 feet from shore, a strip of plastic comes off a roll. Imagine this is 10 feet long. It gets folded in half and pushed into the mud. The 2 blades sticking up in the water is called a plug. They're spaced 2 feet apart in swaths, 16 to 24 feet wide. They run for miles along rivers, lakes, and channels. They absorb wave energy, hold aquatic plants, and build up sediments. Billions are now earmarked for marsh restoration. Coastal parishes, land trusts, the BLM, NOAA Fisheries, Wildlife and Fisheries, the National Resource Conservation Service, Big Oil, and other coastal concerns are my potential customers. $500,000 builds a base of operations and a larger plug installer. Profits are 50% above costs. The market is growing by the minute, with land losses now at 1 acre per hour. This is your opportunity to get in on a true game changer in coastal restoration. Patented Bayou Backer Erosion Control. Thank you.
Let you hit it.
All right, current client base, do you have any clients at this point in time?
I'm speaking with coastal parishes from Cameron, Vermilion,
You're speaking to them.
speaking to them. We're talking about putting up some money for projects in their parish. I spoke to St. Mary's Parish in Franklin. I've spoken to Plaquemines Parish. And the idea is to take some of the BP oil spill money and put it to good use on restoration projects.
Thank you.
So that's 10 feet long or 10 feet wide, that long, 10 feet wide? Is that?
Imagine this is 10 feet long.
Which way?
It's 6 inches wide
Okay.
by 10 feet long. It's folded in half and pushed 2 feet into the mud. That leaves 2 blades sticking up in the water, 3 to 3.5 feet long. You're working in 2 feet of water. You're 8 feet offshore.
What makes you think that's going to stay in the mud?
We did a test in 2008 for the McElhenney Company in Weeks Bay. It's been over 5 years and the plugs have not left, they haven't washed away. I have a permitted test in Schooner Bayou, 800 plugs.
Thank you.
Hold on, one more question. What wasn't introduced in my bio was that I'm an avid kayak fisherman, so I see the impact of coastal restoration almost every weekend that I go out. Your solution, you talked about meeting with the parishes. Are you working with CCA or any of the nonprofit organizations, and have you had the environmental test done on the plastics for long-term sustainability and organism attachments?
The plastic is commercially available. It's used to line ponds. It's used to line landfills. It doesn't break down in the environment, has a very high UV rating. I'm currently permitted to do a project in Little Vermilion Bay. This will be a demonstration project for the state. It's 1,500 feet. It's 12,000 plugs.
Right.
I've gotten 2 permits in the state in 1 year.
Those are from DNR?
The NRCS, the Army Corps of Engineers, Ocean Management.
Our next company,
Give us 2 seconds here. We've got
Guys,
to get our
real quick,
paperwork in
hold on,
order.
just one thing real quick. So number 5 was not here, unless you're here right now.
You're here.
Oh, you're right there.
Oh.
Hey, sorry.
Okay.
I was gonna say, unless you're sitting here, right here, and I missed you. So.
I missed you too.
Okay, so,
You're next.
Yeah, I was sitting here, I'm like, I have my sheets in order, I'm like, where did ADR group go?
yep, sorry. We're gonna
Okay.
do it right now,
All
so.
right.
Arun, hang out a second.
Hold on.
I've seen you all day. So if you were scoring, number 6 had just gone. This will be number 5 coming up right now. Number 5 will be coming up. See?
Glad we cleared that up.
This isn't ADR. This isn't ADR.
So this is balance.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
Our next company is Inbalance ADR Group.
Business owners, entrepreneurs, let me ask you a question. What is your number one headache as a business owner or operator? Follow-up question. What is your number one asset? Answer, your people. It is your people who will make or break your company. It is your people who will help you meet the customers of your dreams and make the profits that you need in order to be successful. We are Inbalance ADR. We are a conflict resolution and remote HR service company. We help you find the right people, screen the right people, and place the right people in your business, and help you develop the team that you know you deserve to have. We allow you to move HR functions into the 21st century. We provide all of our clients with the electronic HR portal. What does that mean for you? That means no more lost memos. Oh, hi, did you get the memo on the new dress code? No, I never saw it. Oh, it's in your email. It helps you avoid all of those pitfalls with your I-9s, with your Affordable Care Act information. All those are integrated and available on your PDA. We are a SaaS-based platform, so that all of your information is secure on Amazon services, and so that you can actually pull into that information anywhere you are. We also provide conflict management. What is that? We help you have those difficult conversations that, let's be honest, as business owners, most people are not trained to do. I'm actually a practicing therapist by trade. And in therapy school, they did not teach us how do you handle conflict in business situations. Inbalance ADR, they do that through using tried and true conflict management skills. We have the knowledge, we have the resources, we have a scalable business plan. We are currently in phase 1, which is our startup. We launched in early 2015, and we are focused on client acquisition. Phase 2 is for us to move into a call center and scale our business model so that we can grow to further serve our clients as well as new product offerings. Phase 3 is to have a conflict resolution and peace building center based in Shreveport, where we currently are, so that we can expand and bring mediation and conflict resolution skills to the general public. We are Inbalance ADR Group. We want to be your HR and conflict solution. Thank you.
I'll let you go.
All right. I'm just gonna start with the basics of how much you're seeking, what's your revenue model, and how much you're seeking.
Okay, sorry, skip that. Our revenue model is subscription-based and fee-for-service-based. We operate, our HR platform operates on a tiered subscription model. We come in at about a quarter of the cost of having a full-time HR person. So our target market is small businesses and startups who cannot afford a full-time HR person. So approximately $1,000 a month, baseline.
And you're seeking how much?
I'm seeking $100,000 for initial startup so that we can build out our sales team and move our platform over to a more robust model.
Thank you.
Okay, so you're in Shreveport.
Correct.
I'm in Lafayette.
Yes.
And I have an employee that is conflicted or has a conflict problem. You're a long way away, and conflict is one of these pretty in-the-moment kind of things. So just explain to me how that works.
Well, we do a combination of virtual interaction. We do on-site. Our HR is, we have our own Beverly Pope. Pick up the phone, Beverly, this is what's going on. I am available, and as we are hopefully engaging you before those major conflict situations, no conflict arises out of nowhere. There are signs and signals that, if you know what you're looking for, can be caught. So if we can actually catch that situation ahead of time, we will work through coaching.
How many customers do you currently have today?
Currently, we have 3 customers, 1 physician's office, 2 dental practices, and those are our test market clients, and we are looking to expand.
Thanks.
Our next company, Cyneral.
I'm Arun Lakotia, Professor of Computer Science at UL Lafayette. I'm on sabbatical, and Cyneral is my startup. I'm bringing through this startup a technology developed through my research into market. And this technology, I believe, will change the world. Change the world, at least in cybersecurity. If you look at this picture here, and all the logos that you see here, companies represented: Target, AT&T, Google, Yahoo. They were all hacked last year in 2014. They spent a lot of money. They spent millions of dollars, and they were still hacked. Why? It turns out that the game has changed. Once upon a time, hackers would just hit someone. All they needed to do was hit someone. And so the method of attack was generic. They just want to hit someone. And all our technologies were there designed to protect against those attacks. Now the attackers have changed. Now you have China attacking our specific equipment. Our attacks are targeted. In this context, how do we protect against those attacks? What we bring to market is, what if we could learn from the attacker's failures? It turns out, when you are targeting an attack, you're going to try many times before you penetrate the defense. The catch is, how do you connect the attacks? So you have hundreds of thousands of attacks coming in every day in a corporate network. How do you connect them so that you can find which are targeted attack? And this is where we bring our secret sauce. We have come up from research that we have conducted under some DARPA programs. We have a method to connect malicious programs, the viruses, the worms that attack your network. We have a way to connect them using their DNA. And what do we get from that? As our business, an early warning system for targeted attacks. Attacks that are targeting your individual organization. How do they work? Our method is extremely simple. What we do, we use your existing appliances that are keeping attacks out. We take the data from it, feed it into our system. This little jail that you make, this is a jail of malware. We feed it in there and we interrogate your malware in the jail. We extract the DNA, we connect the malware, we find out who is who. That leads to our product. We connect all these jails around the world and we create a network of malware intelligence. So imagine you have this segment in a bank, in law enforcement, and so on.
Thank you.
Our business model.
Go on. No, you.
What's the greatest risk to you as a company right now? Because you've got all of these companies that are spending billions of dollars inside of this space.
The greatest risk right now is customer education. We are bringing a completely new concept in the market. And when you bring in a new concept, you have to educate the customer. We are not directly associating to a pain point they have already identified. The second risk is that once we create the market, the leaders may come up and throw a vaporware in there, and they say they also have a solution.
You're probably a really smart guy, and you've got secret sauce. Who else in what's your organization like right now? Who else knows how to make the secret sauce? If you became unavailable.
Oh, extremely good question. I have my research scientist is part of my organization who has been part of the development of this technology. So he's available, he's there.
Okay, so, hi, Ron. How are
Second?
you? I said, hi. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
First, it's about time that you got yourself out of the research lab and into this. So thank you. So I'm going to allow you, what's your business model?
So we have three revenue lines. One is an appliance. A lot of our clients are companies that want the product in their network environment. For them, we would have appliance that they put in their environment. It will be licensed like regular technology. Second is the cloud subscription, where we put it on Amazon Web Service and people can acquire just on a subscription basis. A third is a pay-per-use web service. These are for people who don't necessarily want a monthly or annual subscription.
Thank you. You're a nice guy. Hey, Chloe, backing you. Yeah, that's a good one.
Our next company, PrepTech. PrepTech.
Key person questions. The other thing to ask is, do you take the intellectual property, do you have that stuff in a code? It's called a code repository. You take that, you put it in escrow of some type of firm. And so where's your code repository located? Okay.
Hello, I'm Eric Wolf, Chief Scientific Officer of PrepTech, and this is Mark Moore, our founder and inventor. I'd like to speak with you about our surgical prep system for prepping the skin before surgery. The World Health Organization in 2004 estimated approximately 242 million operations are performed each year in the world, about 50 million in the U.S. alone. The surgical preparation of the skin involves taking the surgical site and typically rubbing it with a material that sterilizes the skin, removes the bacteria, and this can be quite time-consuming and is typically done in the operating room. Our technology allows us to move that out of the operating room. And actually, in that operating room, it takes a minimum of 6 minutes to prepare the skin. It involves not only rubbing the material on all the area, but also a time for evaporation. And typically it costs about $62 per minute in the operating room. And it also involves a surgeon and anesthesiologist opportunity cost. Our technique also improves patient safety. So our idea is to do the preparation of the skin actually in the preoperative holding area, and this allows us to reduce operating room time, eliminate both surgeon and anesthesiologist opportunity cost, remove some of this perioperative risk, and also to employ the patient in the process. Next. What I don't have for you here is a video. It shows our technique. It involves, for extremities, placing a drape, a bag over the extremity, and then the sterilizing agent is actually introduced into the bag. The patient is instructed in the preoperative holding area on how to rub their skin, and basically it distributes it over the skin. And then in the operating room, they simply remove the bag, and the limb is there ready, all prepped and ready for surgery right away. So in terms of implementation, we have 2 U.S. patents that are issued with additional patents pending. The inventor is Mark here. We've done a proof of concept sterilization efficacy study with the help of UL Lafayette. We feel that this is a Class 1 exempt device in terms of the FDA regulations, as it is a drug dispenser. And right now we're looking for domestic partners, but also considering offshore manufacturing and distribution ourselves. Next. Next, Mark. So the economics, the manufacturing cost is estimated at $5, end user cost $60, potential gross sales $1.8 billion per year, annual savings to the OR.
I have no question at this time.
So, I'm trying to get the question as clear as I can. You haven't been able to put it into a practical setting yet to see if it's decreased MRSA or times by X% at this point, correct? Because you're in kind of a pre-release environment?
We are pre-release. What we have done are the micro studies where we've actually taken patients, we've surgically prepped one extremity in the usual fashion, the other extremity we have used our system and then taken cultures and incubated those with the help of the microbiology department at ULL, and we found that our system actually has better clinical efficacy than the standard preparation techniques.
And how many trials has that?
Just one question.
I'm sorry. Can you ask my question?
I'll go. Okay, so you had a $5 manufacturing cost there. That seems very aggressive. So I will assume that that is for your very high volumes that you projected. So if I'm wrong, you can tell me that, but what would be your cost for entry level into the market for the device?
Well, actually, this is based on reasonably low volume manufacturing offshore. So we have actually approached some Chinese manufacturers of surgical drapes, and this is about the price point that we're getting back from them.
I actually do have a question. And it's not Doug's. So. How much are you seeking and for what?
Well, I think it really depends upon our approach. If we get a strategic partner such as Medline or one of the other big medical manufacturers, that would take a lot of headache from us. Alternatively, I think probably $600,000 or so would allow us to actually do our own manufacturing. You can buy bag making machines and whatnot, and give us some of the monies to start our own distribution networks. But I think probably partnering with independent distributors if we do not have a strategic partner.
Thank you.
Comic relief.
Our next company, Flange Clamp.
Good afternoon. My name is Josh Sills, and I'm here to pitch our product, the Flange Clamp. The Flange Clamp was originally designed and developed to fill a need in the offshore oil and gas market. Offshore production facilities was not allowed to replace the compromised bulb on mobile power and flanges while on service. This was due to significant safety and environmental concerns. These bolts were typically replaced during turnaround shutdown of the process equipment. These shut-ins costed the companies in upwards of millions of dollars per day in lost production. For an example, a previous client was subjected to a regulatory inspection, and the result of the inspection was a general conclusion that the flange door integrity overall was in very poor condition. The client was faced with an ultimatum. Do they pay the fines for risking a facility shut in, or do they bite the bullet and change out the studs and accept the risk? At the time, the facility was producing roughly about 35,000 barrels per day, and oil prices were about $55 per barrel. If that facility had to shut in for a small fraction of the time, 8 days, that's over $15 million lost in revenue. We developed the flange clamp so our clients can still work within the constraints of their safety policies and maintain revenue. Our product in the nutshell encompasses the flange replacing the studs clamping for us and enables us to replace the studs and maintain production. The equipment never had to be shut in or isolated. That same client used the flange clamp. We changed the studs and nuts in over 1,600 flanges and never had to isolate or shut in for any piece of equipment, saving them $13 million. There are several pieces of equipment that shares the same principle of the flange clamp, but general feedback from our client regarding these devices is that there are too many moving parts and it is difficult to operate and introduces additional risk. The flange clamp is currently being utilized in the oil and gas market. Future markets it could be applied to is pulp and paper, nuclear, chemical, municipal, agrochemical, and more. Over the past 2 years, the flange clamp was generated approximately $1.7 million in revenue. And we forecast that the flange clamp will generate approximately about $10 million over the next 2 years because of interest by BP Deepwater, Shell Deepwater, Chevron, Dow Chemical globally, BHP, and Williams. We will use the proceeds to obtain an independent facility and staff administrative personnel to use some of the proceeds for marketing. We have currently $1 million invested in engineering, testing, and manufacturing of 100 units. We are interested in a venture or a partnership with like-minded individuals. And for investment opportunities, we are considering 3 options: a minority equity investment, lease agreement or distributorship, majority or complete acquisition. We ask to conduct these negotiations privately.
Thank you.
So you said that you have these already in the market today?
Yes, sir.
How many deployed?
Currently, right now, we have 4 deployed, but we have 100 units manufactured.
Can't ask my second question.
All right, I saw you pitch at LAGCO, and I'm going to base this next question on the assumption that you're using a rental model to generate your revenue primarily.
Yeah.
And And so my question is, if I use this for my flange, is it cheaper for me to use this or replace my bolts with stainless steel next time?
Well, that depends on the service. So if you have a carbon steel flange and you replace that with stainless steel bolts, you develop what is called a cathode and anode.
Mm-hmm.
So some part of that becomes a sacrificial item. Well, in terms of stainless steel and carbon steel, your carbon steel becomes that anode. It becomes a sacrificial item. So it's much cheaper to replace the bolts than it is the flange. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
Yep.
There are 3 models of investment, but you didn't say how much you were seeking and what for.
Those are conversations we would ask to have privately in negotiations.
So,
Thank you.
okay.
Our next company, Ocean Energy.
Ocean Energy Lighting of Africa. Can you imagine if you were a passenger on this plane that crashed because the power went out in an air traffic controlling station? Or you were this guy that died in the middle of a surgical operation because the power went out in the middle of his surgery. Well, this is what millions of Nigerians go through on a daily basis and has resulted to hundreds of thousands of deaths annually. Well, Ocean Energy is a for-profit power generation company that plans on generating 5 megawatts of electricity using ocean wave energy to 5,000 plus homes/businesses in Nigeria. Ocean Energy's wave turbine is the Palamis wave energy conversion device that is shaped like a snake floating above water. And this is what it looks like in real life. Our potential customers are electrical distribution companies or high power intensive industrial plants, such as electrical industrial plants. How we make money, we generate electricity, send it to distribution companies, and the consumer pays for it. Maintaining our customers is a cycle by generating electricity, sending it to our substations, and then selling it to the distribution or transmission companies. How we plan on growing is it's pretty much a generic way. We raise more capital, we buy more wave turbines, and then we sell the more electricity generated to our the transmission companies. Our estimated revenue is not 33 million, but it's 7 million. We plan on making 7 million on our first year of operation. That was a typo. By selling to 5,000 plus homes in Nigeria. We have a competitive advantage over existing power generating companies, not by power output, but by our efficiency, and we are a non-environmental pollution company. The electrical industry in Nigeria is over a 2 billion plus year $2 billion plus year company, and which aggregates to the on-grid and off-grid alternatives. Our external risks are natural disasters, government crises, if we're unable to get the ocean space or we have a broken transmission line. Our internal risks are financial reporting or HR management, for example, having a bad hire. Our scalability of growth is Ocean Energy, we plan on raising more funds, building more substations, purchasing more wave turbines, connecting to multiple transmission companies, serving 12,000 plus homes by the end of 2017, and with a plan in the future spreading to the entire sub-Saharan Africa. So who wants to join me with Ocean Energy to stop energy shortage and put an end to preventable deaths in Nigeria? Thank you. Wow.
Hey, good job on your presentation there. Okay, so this turbine, I've never seen that picture before. You know, is that a commercially viable, available system ready now, or is this something that's still kind of in development?
No, this is ready. Portugal has already deployed this. There are some other countries I can't remember, but there are 4 countries that have deployed this. This actually produces 750 kilowatts to 800 kilowatts, which powers about 900 homes. And since the homes in Nigeria, they don't use as much electricity as these developed countries, we can probably power about 1,200 homes with just one. Thanks.
How much investment are you seeking?
I'm seeking $1 million for 10% equity in the company to start off with, and that will go towards getting an ocean space, getting the lawyer fees, buying the subsea cables, conducting a feasibility test of the ocean space we plan on using because we need a space that is very wave prone, and some other surplus materials I don't have off my head right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the turbines are, it's not a product that you've developed, it's a product that
no,
you're
this is
utilizing,
like,
right?
Yeah,
Okay, that's what I want to
This
make
is
sure.
like buying a cell phone. This is already being
Big cell phone.
Yeah,
You're deploying
this is
it.
140 meters long, so it's more than a cell phone.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Very good.
Yeah,
I was waiting for him to stumble. Just do it.
Our next company, Viper Drill.
Viper Drill has developed a small-scale but highly affordable horizontal drilling solution. I'll start with a little humor to drive home the point. So this idea to drill out laterally, literally at 90 degrees from a wellbore, dates back nearly 100 years. In the 5 years that we've carried that torch, we've invested literally millions of dollars, run hundreds of tests, and recently, for the first time ever, have successfully deployed this system downhole. This is a game changer. Unlike conventional perforations that create a drain on the size of this, we look to drill out 15 to 30 feet in multiple directions, producing a virtual drain like this. Perforation drain in blue, Viper Drill drain in red. There are three main benefits to our technology. The first thing we do is we dramatically increase communication from the pay zone into the wellbore. We do this by overcoming the circuitous routes that hydrocarbons take to get to the well and establish in their place virtual flow highways. For much the same reason that when we cross a major city, we prefer to take the highway HOV lane rather than congested topsy-turvy surface streets. The second thing we do is we overcome near wellbore damage. These are pervasive industry problems that cause many wells to be shut in prematurely. Often wells are plugged and abandoned and 80% of the oil is still in the ground. The final benefit to our technology is that we can more evenly diffuse treatment chemicals into the pay zone to further increase hydrocarbon recovery. To give you an idea what it looks like downhole, here's the current scenario. You get limited zonal treatment versus with Viper Drill, you have much more complete treatment of the pay zone. There are a myriad of well applications for our technology and literally hundreds of thousands of wells in our candidate market of 5 to 50 barrels a day. Our government, your government and my government has partially sponsored our technology. They've run some flow models and said we get 25 to 30% more oil out by doing this. More notably is the dramatic acceleration and go forward recovery. Basically, we allow well operators to get out in a matter of years what might otherwise take decades. Obviously, this can have a major impact on NPV, especially for operators facing $40 oil. Interest in our technology is high. We're looking for partners to help us grow and for $1.5 million in capitalization. I see I got a little bit of time left. I was going to actually ask for a moment of silence for the people in France. Thank you. Questions?
So, and what percent, and you may have said it and I just went over my head on it, in drilling the well, is it a lower cost to utilize your solution? I know it's going to produce more, but is it a lower cost or is it a higher cost?
So we go into existing vertical wells
Yep.
and help them get more oil out. And
Got
this-
it.
And it obviously depends on the depth and how many laterals we do and so forth, but it's, certainly less expensive than fracking and applied for fracking does not.
You mentioned that some government organization had sponsored or done some analysis, I suppose. Do you have any, and you said that you recently had a successful test. Was there any data that I missed that correlated the test to what your models were and how successful it's actually been?
Yeah, so our guys literally just got off the well here last week coming back, and on our first well we got 15 feet, and on our second well 30 feet. The purpose of those tests was to technically demonstrate that we can drill out in the kind of distances. We don't yet have the results on those.
Okay.
Let me say one other thing. Yesterday I was in Houston meeting with a rather large oil field service company that has familiarity with this, that had striking results from this technology. They want to sign an NDA. So I guess your question is, yeah, there's a lot of potential in it.
Okay, my question is there any science?
One question.
All right. I was just clarifying. Sorry, Joel.
I'm gonna quick hyphenated question. So
We've got to be strategic.
I'm thinking. I'm listening to you guys asking. I'm going. I got to put 3 questions into one.
Yeah.
Okay. So who do you sell to, and what do I get for the 1.5?
The 1.5, we probably take that offline. I did have a valuation report done on our company about 8 months ago by a firm in California. Who we sell to is, an exit would be obviously to an oil field service company. We're in discussions with a multinational E&P company about doing some work for them as well. And then here in this country, in the U.S., there's literally thousands of independent operators. Internationally, it's obviously the national oil companies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next company, Dynamic Measurement.
They don't say that. I want the 1.5. It's 10%. It's like give me a deal because it tells me the valuation, right? Just tell me how much. I'm not going to negotiate it.
Good afternoon, entrepreneurs and judges. We're here to tell you about some shockingly unconventional technology. We are mining a Lightning database with over 17 years of data in the U.S. and Canada to search for natural resources, not just here, but globally. The reason is nobody wants to drill dry holes, and we think we can reduce your risk with natural source electromagnetic data through Lightning. We provide attribute maps and volumes based on area covered. We also help clients integrate this data with their existing data, and we sell them annual updates based on processing. Our co-founders are awesome geoscientists and geophysicists who have global experience for many decades. We mine existing data, and our patent is for exploration and natural resources. We also have an exclusive global license from Visa, who is the leading company that has the database. Our peers think highly of us, gave us Best Paper Award. Our markets are exploratory reconnaissance. We can find faults and fractures. We look at migration pathways. We believe we have opportunity to actually get direct hydrocarbon indicators out of this technology, as well as provide a framework for diverse data sets and fill in gaps. We have dynamic measurements, price. We know that our price is not related entirely, it's not controlling our sales. We think we have a lot of room to expand our price, and in fact, we're going to increase it in January. We're hoping to provide over 500,000 square miles of analysis next year for about 2 million and increase it thereafter. This is an example of what our data looks like. This is a Texas example. Our markets are varied, and we have competitive advantages in the sense that our data already exists. We don't have to collect it. No boots on the ground, no permits. Nobody even knows we're doing it. Low cost compared to seismic, and we deliver it in about 2 months. It has national and global applications. Our challenge is we need money to grow. We need to submit patents. We have oil and gas and mining in a low cycle right now. We need better marketing and R&D. We're looking for a strategic partner. We're offering sales of equity to raise capital for additional capital.
Thank you.
So you're a big data analytics company that consults and provides analysis to the oil and gas industry based on lightning strike data.
That is correct. And any other little companies who are interested. We do have some clients.
Thank you.
I saw your presentation also at LAGCO, so my understanding is that you have data that correlates with the lightning strikes to existing finds, so you believe you can find other things as well. And one of my thoughts is that one of the things that you have at existing fields is you do have more structure there, which would also attract more lightning. And my question is, do you have any solid science that says why the lightning would be attracted to these, potential areas to go find our natural resources?
We can demonstrate that we don't have lightning attracted to metal objects as much as it is attracted to the ground. We can show you lightning strike examples time and time again. The main bolt is hitting the ground, not the object. That's just a little finger of lightning that comes out.
Okay.
Zaps something. So it's really the ground.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
You discussed about 2 months, I guess, for the whole analytic process to take place.
Yes.
Is there things that you can do that would shorten that? What's the primary reason for that being a 2-month cycle for you?
It takes a couple of weeks for us to acquire the data from Visla. After that, we clean the data, we process it, we review it so that we're familiar with the client's information, and we're able to present it to him so that he can have an understanding of how to integrate this with his other existing data.
While we're crossing over, because I know someone's going to leave and forget them, if you brought sunglasses and you don't have sunglasses, come see me, because I might have them for you. You're going to have to tell me what they look like. Yes. Are those yours? No. They're not yours. They're yours?
Our next company.
Do they look like this?
I'm telling you.
Our next company is the Urban Food Group.
This is why.
So as the farm-to-table movement is growing across the nation, people, all kinds of people are buying into it. They want to know their farmers, they want to know where their food comes from, how it's certified, if it's organic, if it's locally grown. Another story that adds to that story is that 40% of the food in the United States is wasted every year. 60% of our national solid waste stream is made up of food waste after recycling is accounted for. This is a $168 billion a year loss, according to the Natural Resources Defense Council. If we were to recover that food waste and create stable humus compost, it's good for growing food and generating revenue. In Arkansas and Little Rock alone, if we collected and composted and sold the final product, just from residents alone, the gross revenue would be $9 million, $90 million from commercial. So 40% of food is wasted, 33 million tons a year, 500 tons a household, 4 times, every ton creates 4 times as much greenhouse gas buildup. So the solution is composting. Starting small scale in Little Rock, our landfill is not designed to accept food waste on a large level. It's not going to be anytime soon, and so to buy agricultural land and start to compost, the Urban Food Loop has proposed this farm-to-table and back-again solution where residents buy in to not just compost, but they're joining a movement. They're reducing waste, they're advancing their local foods culture, they're becoming an active part of a solution to a very large problem. The Urban Food Loop launched at Heifer International this year. It's a project of the Clinton Global Initiative University program. Food waste! Don't be scared. You can sign up, customers sign up, they get a bin for their porch and a bin for their inside house, they put all their food waste into it, we come by, pick it up, turn their food waste into the compost, return it back to them, or they can donate it to hunger relief organizations, local farmers, landscape companies, a variety of community partners that we have. We're working with restaurants, we're working with farms. This is a local landscaper who does kind of high society landscaping. They have all this edible landscaping in their front yard. They're using our kitchen composter. It's a conversation starter. Looks really nice in their kitchen. They're saving all their food waste. Goes in there, sits outside. We come by and pick up that bucket once a week. Again, sits next to their chairs. It's a conversation starter. It's more than just saving food waste. It's a conversation about what's going on with the environment, with the climate, with the local foods movement. And we're allowing people to be engaged and to participate, to meet their farmers, to take tours. That's the end of my slideshow.
Thank you.
I don't know how much time I have. I can talk about all these other things too, right? So we questions. Yep.
I gotta hold off. I'm gonna let Cian go first.
You're a
If you don't have any questions.
No, I do have a question. I'm just trying to.
Too many.
Yeah. Yes. So, you're a for-profit that generates revenue through composting. Your revenue generation and what you're seeking investment for?
Revenue generation is a subscription service customers pay for, $31 a month, they sign up, and seeking investment for land and larger scale equipment. We're piloting a program this year in a small farmer incubation program where we do have access and land for free for 1 year. And after that, we're going to compile a report that says this is how much land, this is how much equipment we need, this is how much money we need. I really don't know at this point. We're still in startup. We launched in June.
Thank you.
Okay, so I saw your upscale example there for the conversation starters. I thought they were good pictures. So there's a lot of folks that aren't going to buy into this because they don't want to spend the $30. They're going to spend that $30 on something else. Do you have a number for like an annual income at which this becomes attractive, as a general rule to people, and that just speaks to the demographic. How far toward the 1% do I have to be before I'm interested in this type of service?
Are you asking for a number of how? Turn that light off. I need clarification.
Yeah.
Are you asking for a number of how?
So if I'm at the poverty level or below, I'm not buying the service.
Correct.
Okay. At what level do you see your target market beginning?
Kind of in the lower middle class. I have 32 customers right now. I have 3 customers that live in a low income neighborhood, drive beat up old cars, and they see value in this. The value created for them is that they are in touch with their food. I have a doctor friend of mine who wouldn't pay for it, and she drives a BMW. The value proposition is interesting because it's not just a service, but it is leading towards a movement.
Okay, thank you.
One more.
So there's a lot of composting solutions that are out there today. The value add that you have is that you're also picking up the compost to be able to recycle it so that you're going back into the farm to table movement. Thank you.
Three snaps is eating more nature?
Some stuff here. Guys, for those of you that are wondering, A, when will it end? After this one. And you have, that was just number 13 right there. Number 14 will be right after this. So on your cards, if 13 or 14 are the ones that you'll be voting for, just simply write a big 13, circle it, or a big 14, circle it as well. And while we're swapping over on the back, if you're interested in being a part of Innov8 or just simply joining the newsletter to see what cool is happening and going on, you can save yourself some time after voting by doing that now as opposed to doing it then. So
make sure you fill out the back to get the newsletter.
we'll only spam you 12 times a day. That's it.
We got great recipes.
Put it in front of you. I'm scared.
Our 14th and final company, Revolution Labs.
Oh, yeah, sideways. I'm in direct line fire.
Okay, my name is Michael Snyder, and I'm a PhD student from the University of Louisville, and I have a bachelor's degree in physics from Murray State University. I'm here today to show you the next new thing in science education. Basically, I have a piece of equipment that will allow you to see magnetic fields in real time. And I'll give a demonstration. And the judges will see most of this, but I can show everybody else later. Okay. So first off, let's talk about the problem. In my hand, I have a magnet. And in my other hand, I have a magnifying glass. And I know this magnet has a big field going around it. And I can just look at that field, right? So all we have to do is hold up the magnifying glass and see it. Does everybody see it? Well, there must be a way of doing this. I mean, how hard could it be? I mean, photons are E and M, they're magnet. Photons have electric and magnetic, and magnets have magnetic. It should be easy to see this. So, what we do is we put something between the two. First, I have to have something that interacts with the magnetic field, which is little pieces of iron. So I have a layer of iron. And then we have to have something that interacts with the layer of iron. So what I do is I just have a skinny layer of iron and shoot light into it. So let me pass this down. So that's the basic cell, two pieces of glass, and a ferrofluid between it, just a layer of iron. And then we have LEDs all the way around the perimeter. So basically we have a bunch of lights all the way around. And I printed that with a 3D printer. Okay, now, here I have different magnets in a board. And the reason I have different magnets in a board is because I used to try to do this demonstration with the magnets separate. And they would jump around. It was kind of dangerous. So I got smart. I said, I'll put them in a board. And it works pretty well. So I have a single one here, two here, and four here. So there's a pole. You'll see a big circle. Mm-hmm. And here we have a dipole. And that's from multipole expansion, if anybody has the background in mathematics. And here we have a quadrupole. And notice it works in real time. So feel free to move it.
Thank you.
So the first question I would have is, what problem are we solving by having insight into this?
We're solving the problem of seeing magnetic fields so we can understand them. And that would be very useful in science education. Kids just are not told about it. They can interact with it in real time.
Are there any industrial uses that you know of where people pay a lot of money to look at magnetic fields?
Yes, you could be designing a motor, and it only works a slow RPM. If you're designing a motor or a generator, you literally can just hold this up in real time and see the field. You move the magnet, it moves with it. Okay.
Very clever.
Yeah.
Very clever. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
So there's a couple of things that's really cool about this. Is there's a couple of service companies that have donated services. Not only are they going to win this great award, but also not only are they going to get a chance to go to New Orleans, but some great service companies are giving away some great prizes. So I'm going to call them up here. Blair Broussard with ARPR, come on up. Give her a hand.
So we're giving them startup packages. These are packages that contain PR services such as media lists, consultations, and media pitching videos that just kind of help a startup that's just pre-revenue to get off their feet, create buzz, and make news.
All right, and what's the value of these?
These are valued at $350 each.
All right, very good. And DNMA Law Firm, is Ryan here still? Yes. Come on up, Ryan. Tell you guys what they're going to be getting as well.
Thank you all. My name is Ryan Gavlock. I'm a partner with Dury and McLaughlin, Stagging Ackerman here in Lafayette. I'm a patent lawyer, trademark, and IP specialist. My partner Gary McLaughlin and I both also do general commercial, organizational work, transactional M&A. And so we wanted to help out and be part of this and donate some of our services to the judges' winners.
All right, so how much are y'all giving each of the winners? It's right here.
It's like $1,000.
All right!
We give it 2 hours.
In case you didn't know. I meant 5 hours. Well, that's actually 15 minutes of work.
Yeah. That's all this is. It's a couple hours. It depends on the rate.
All right, and so we also have Accelerated Leadership. Is Ross here? Oh, all right, come on up. So Mike, tell us what y'all are going to be giving away as well to the winners, in case you didn't know it's right there.
My name is Mike Williams, and I'm the owner of Accelerated Leadership. We do leadership training and coaching. It's all around behavioral-based training. What we have is we do a public 2-day training every month in Lafayette at a hotel site. So we're giving away 3 seats for that. That's a $695 value for each one. And we're also giving away 2 hours of coaching as well for each of the winners. It values at about $3,500.
Woo! Yeah. Zach Barker with the Opportunity Machines is giving these people away some stuff too. What are you giving these 3 winners?
So I'll stay back here. Hi, we're giving away $5,000 of incubation and acceleration services. So for those of you that are out of town, we're going to figure out how we're going to help you guys out, primarily through training, connectivity to mentors, guidance, the things that you need. For those of you that are in town, we're going to provide you up to 1 year of free use of space in the Opportunity Machine, which is located in Light, which will include Light, somewhere over here, right? 10,000 square feet of entrepreneurial space. You'll have access to all the internet, coffee, free parking, everything that you need. But more importantly, what you'll have access to is all the people that are in the center, as well as the promotions and marketing back that goes along with what we do in the community. So you'll become one of our racehorses. So do a good job.
All right, very good. And certainly last but not least, Potenza, who's been helping us all through the year. As I mentioned earlier, our partners in crime for this is also giving away an amazing prize.
Very good.
Frankie.
My name is Frankie Russo. I'm the founder and owner of Potenza Inc. We have 3 packages here. They're each $1,000. It's a combination of brand strategy as well as graphic design to really get you guys kicked off as far as your look and feel, reposition you wherever you end up going after your market. So we're excited about that.
Okay, so do we have a winner?
We have 3 winners.
We have 3 winners. And Doug, you want me to say?
Yeah, if I could just say something real quick
before,
before we announce the winners and everybody
Okay.
run out.
And thank you for the, let's give a round of applause to the judges.
Thanks for letting me say just a couple of words. I no longer work for Amazon Web Services. However, I heard several companies mention that they're utilizing this. And you may or may not know this, but Amazon Web Services, along with Microsoft and Google and everybody else out there, they have programs specifically designed for startup companies. So if you go to aws.amazon.com/activate, there's an application that you fill out, and you will receive, if you get accepted into it, which 99% of the companies get accepted into it, you will receive free credits so that you can do all of your development without having to pay a fee on the Amazon Web Services, plus credits towards training and education and those type of things. I just want to make sure everybody here was aware that that was there, because when I talked to a couple of people, they weren't aware of it.
Thank you.
Thank
That's
you.
great. The 3 winners, and then we're going to do the judges, the crowd favorite after that to see if we align with their winners. And just before you leave, we're going to talk food one more time. We have a ton of food in the lobby, so you guys on your way out, just scarf it all, because we have no place to bring it. So bring it home with you. And then if you really feel like eating after that, there's one more thing called Innovate the Plate, and there's 5 restaurants downtown that have innovative specials as part of this program. It's a very last event of this 3-day summit. So food. All right, so the moment. It's yours, Katie.
I'm going to torture you for just a second longer. I know I teased you about this morning, but we at the Delta Regional Authority have an incredible tradition that we have challenge points that are given to our chairman, Chairman Chris Massengill, and is designed and blessed by the President of the United States. And we give these out to individuals for their service to the region, for their service for economic development, and as well as for their partnership and their friendship. And we, on behalf of the Delta Regional Authority, would like to present you, Pete, with a challenge.
So we also have a tradition here. Okay. One foot. Wait, my good son. So we also have a tradition here when anybody comes to Lafayette, Louisiana, they become automatically an honorary Raging Cajun. And so you never forget us. We have a good Raging Cajun shirt for you.
Thank you.
And because you love Raging Cajun beer made by Tesh Brewery, everywhere you go, you got to support.
Thank
you.
you. Be a car carrying.
Right back at you.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll announce the alternate, and then I'd like all of the entrepreneurs, after the audience favorite is announced. Thank you. After the audience favorite is announced, please, all of the entrepreneurs that pitched, come up and we'll get a group photo. Again, thank you so much. Let's give another round of applause. So the alternate, cover 6. And in no particular order, the 3 Delta entrepreneurs from Louisiana are Cyneral, Prep Tech, and Viper Drill.
Congratulations. Congratulations. And congratulations. Sir.
Woo!
All right.
Good. All right.
Gotta get
I got
the step in her
There's
feet.
enough room for everyone to be there.
We don't fit into these.
Step and repeat.
Hold them awards up. And don't leave because now you get your services packages. If y'all can come up and give them also their service awards.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow. Once again, a big thanks to Marissa, to Lori.
Audience favorite.
Huh?
Audience favorite.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Do we have? You tell.
Can you scoot over? Stand more, like, over more, just a little bit. Thank you, there you go, there you go. All right, thanks.
And thank you again, Jamie, for all the volunteers that you've led. This is amazing. You could not have done this.
People's Choice Award goes to Ocean Urchin.
Wow.
Come on in.
One more.
All right. Well, everybody, that concludes the Innov8 2015 season. Is there anything else? Did I miss anything? Thank you, Joel. Thank you, everybody.
Hey guys, thanks for the action.